everyone, this is Gary from Big Spud and I hope you are very well. Now most of you will know that I really like roast potatoes, like quite a lot. So if there's any recipe out there with roast potato, I tend to try it. A request I get is how to do roast potatoes in an Actifry, that is an air frying oven. You usually use for chips, that's one of their main selling points, but there's a load of other things you can do with them too. So why not roast potatoes? And I guess why try and do roast potatoes? Well, for one thing, it'll be quicker. From start to finish, roast potatoes take about an hour and a half. In an Actifry, it takes around 30 minutes. It's also healthier. You tend to use a lot less oil when air frying than other techniques. So there's a big win right there. So let's get the Actifry warmed up, chop some potatoes, and let's have a look. This is a really simple recipe because you just need potatoes, a little oil, and then whatever flavourings you want. Salt at a minimum, but anything else you feel like you want to try. So we are of course going to start with potatoes. There's a shocker. So here are some Maris Piper, my preferred potato for doing this sort of thing. But you know, anything that's white and floury is going to do it. Because of the method we're using, actually we can get away with using lots of different types of potato. I just prefer the flavour of Maris Piper. So I'm just going to peel and chop. So there we go, that's all my potatoes done, I'm happy with that. With an Actifry, it's a good idea to preheat it for about a minute before you start cooking. So let's do that now. It makes a bit of noise, sorry. Told you, it makes noise. With an Actifry, they give you a little spoon, which is about a tablespoon. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of oil in. I'm choosing olive oil today, but it's up to you. And now just let that heat. And so that's been preheating for a minute, and I've just put my potatoes in. Now it's time to add the seasonings. I'm going to add salt, pepper, rosemary and onion powder, but as long as you've got salt and pepper, the rest is totally up to you. So after 20 minutes they've got a nice colour on them and a fork will go into them super easy. So here we are after 30 minutes, they've got a lovely colour on them. Make a nice rustling sound when they're moved about. And they will be, of course, incredibly hot. But I'm going to try one anyway for science. They are good. For a middle of the week side dish, they are great. They've got a crust on them, they've got loads of flavours, and they remind you of roast dinner. So folks, there we have it, Actifry roast potatoes. So how do they compare to the real thing? Well, complete honesty, they're not quite as good as real roast potatoes, cooked lovingly in the oven, parboiled first, beautiful crispy edges. You just get nicely seasoned, slightly crisp potatoes with a fluffy interior. I wouldn't serve them on Christmas Day, let's say that. But as a midweek alternative to a roast potato, they tick enough boxes for me. They soak up gravy beautifully, for example. So I'd recommend it. The other advantage is really being able to tweak the seasoning. So put paprika on there if you want, put oregano, put fennel on there, whichever flavourings you want that are going to complement the rest of your meal. That's what I'd recommend. Look at the seasonings and herbs and flavourings in the rest of your meal. It's a really easy way to get decent roast potatoes. Not perfect, that's coming soon, but to get decent roast potatoes that you will satisfy that crunch, tick, savoury, tick, full of flavour, tick box that you want. So that's all from me. I hope you liked it. Have you got any other Actifry recipes or potato recipes you'd like to see me try? Leave a comment down below. I'd love it if you could subscribe as well. Keep my YouTube overlords happy. Thanks for all. See you next time.